Okay. Guys, and girls. The 5% of my audience that are girls. Oh my god. Usopp. I have news, alright? Right now, probably within the span that I am going to be filming this review and then going back upstairs to edit it, probably within that time span of maybe like 20-25 minutes, I'm probably going to hit 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. Woo! Yeah! Now, what am I going to be doing for this momentous occasion, you might say, Usopp? Well, I'm so glad you asked. I am going to be... Wait, what? I just realized it still said Sage King and not God Usopp. Man, they messed that up. I just realized that. I bought those like a year ago. Okay, no, but the thing that I'm going to be doing, there's a few things, but the first thing that you'll be seeing that I'll be doing that a lot of the fan base wanted me to do is I'm going to be reading a fan fiction, and it's going to be a hot and steamy lemon kind of fan fiction, and it's going to be between Nami and Luffy. I know it's going to be those two, but I don't know exactly which one I haven't picked it yet, but I will be looking into it. So if you want to send me recommendations on that, you can just, send those to my Twitter, and I'll look into those. And might possibly start, because I used to do that. I used to read fan fictions back in the day for, like, Bleach. So maybe I'll start doing that for One Piece characters. Various One Piece couples you want me to throw out there, I can maybe do that. But I got some other stuff planned coming up. I just wanted to thank you all in advance right now, because... That was crazy. That was like, it took me what, like 7 years to get 100,000 subs, and then in like 10 months I went up another 100,000. So, but yeah, let's just get into the review. It's been a long enough delay. Okay, so this will be One Piece chapter 886 review titled "The Way I Live." The way he lives. He's like the dude, like Jeff Bridges from The Big Lebowski. Like the dude abides, man. He lives. That's what he does. Okay, so we get a color page this week. Pretty cool. It's about it's a bunch of armadillos, which, okay, fine. I'm an armadillo fan. Never saw one myself, but they look kind of adorable. You know, getting the little ball, and they're like walking around on their tippy toes all the time. They're pretty cute. Anybody that has a pet armadillo, you could tweet that at me too. Yeah, that'd be cute. I love Brooke's shirt that just has like melted pizza slices all over it. I need that shirt. I need it like now. They need to come up with a One Piece fashion line featuring all of like the characters' like known clothing. I think that would sell quite a bit, don't you? All right. Anyway, we get into the actual chapter. We cut over to we're in Chocolate Town. We're in Cacao Island. The cake has been completed, or at least the basis for the cake has been completed. We have the chiffon cake. We have the stuff that Pudding came up with that I've already forgotten the name of, and then we have the whipped cream that Sanji created. So the idea is we're just going to get to the harbor, get on a boat, and then we're going to finish up everything there. Now, of course, while they're all running through town, you know, they can't let know that Sanji's part of that, because the townsfolk, maybe not all of them, but at least some of them would be aware that Sanji has defected and he's now like a bad guy, and Pudding can't like manipulate everybody's memories at once. Well, she can. She can use that flashback fill ability, but that doesn't seem to be, like, controlling what memories surface. So, in order to actually physically edit the memories, she has to get right up into your, into your drill, rip out the memories, and, like, snip. That's kind of a weakness of her fruit, you know. She actually has to, like, one-on-one, it's okay, but, like, a wide, a group of people, like a big crowd of people, she wouldn't be able to manipulate their memories, particularly as she would see fit. So, anyway, Sanji has to put on a disguise. He puts on, like, a handkerchief, and they're looking at him like, oh, what's with the disguise, Mr. Husband? I'm like, I'm the shy type. Oh, Sanji the shy type. Yeah, that's totally him to a T. So we see Oven hanging around the harbor, just kind of waiting for them to show up. And remember, like, he was kind of having a little confrontation with Pound a few chapters ago, but I guess Pound decided just to do the smart thing and just run away and hide. I mean, I would say it's cowardly, but this is Pound we're talking about here. He probably just retreated so he could figure out a battle plan to take on Oven, because you can't just jump into battles right away. Pound is not a think on the moment kind of guy. He's more of like a, sit there and ruminate and think about your enemy's true powers and figure out a way to counter them. That's how Pound fights. So Pound is hiding. The carriage goes by with the cake. Oven sees Pudding, and Pudding explains the situation like, okay, we're going to take the boat, we're going to make the cake on the sea, and then we're going to meet Big Mom, and then that's where we're going to give it to her. And that also would mitigate the damage to the island, because right now Big Mom is rampaging in all these islands. It would be safer to give her the cake while she's out at sea rather than on an island. Because even if you have the cake on the island, when she, you know, arrives, she's going to be wrecking the shit on the way to the cake. So it's like, you know what, just have it this way. And Oven's like, yeah, all right, yeah, cool, that makes sense. You guys can go. And Chiffon, you know, perks up, and she's probably not really thinking of the situation all that much. She's like, thank you, Brother Oven. And then Oven just immediately grabs her and then face slams her to the ground. You know, I don't care. It's the end of the line for you, Chiffon. And everyone's freaking out like, oh my God, why would you do such a thing to your sister? And it turns out Oven is, he's like, I don't care about blood. I don't care that you're my sister. I don't care that you're helping make this cake. Your part's already done. And by the way, you've already made the actual cake, so they don't really need you for anything else. And it's like, you've committed mutiny. That's like the highest laws in Totland. You just don't break. You don't mess with that. So I don't think it implies that, I don't think he's implying that he's going to straight up kill her right there. He does say it's a grave sin, but the conversation gets kind of interrupted before it goes any really weird dark. Because if Oven really wanted to, I mean, he has the power of, like, what's the Kitsu no Mi, the heat fruit. He can just, like, heat up his hand and then grab Chiffon's head and, like, charbroil her from, like, the inside out, but he didn't do that right away. So I would assume, considering that Big Mom, the way she is around traders and everything, that she would probably want to see Chiffon to make her life a living hell before, you know, she either throws her in prison for the rest of her life or just kills her. Yeah, so Oven wasn't going to straight up kill her right now. But Chiffon has a moment where she gets back up and she's like, I will see this cake through to the bitter end! And she's remembering Lola. Like, they saved Lola's life. These are the people that cared for my sister when her own family disowned her. I'm gonna stand by these people. So that, Chiffon, you win mad points, alright? By the way, I'm sitting here reading this arc, and I'm sitting here like, where is Lola at and what's she doing right now? Because it just... You know, if Lola was ever going to come back into the story, you'd think this would be the arc where she came back. The last time we've seen Lola, she was hanging out in Water 7, in the bar that Blue and O used to run. I guess they're running it now. And they're just chilling out there with, like, the rolling, you know, the Risky Brothers, you know, the rolling pirate crew that she's part of, and they're just chilling out in Water 7. Meanwhile, all this crap is going on. I wonder if she's, like, sitting there having a beer talking to everybody. Like, oh, yeah, that man, you know, he rejected me, but it's only 5,000. We can move... Oh. Alright, that was weird. Yeah, I don't know. But, anyway, Chiffon is very dedicated to Lola and the cause and everything. And then you have Sanji, who's just kind of staying down low, has the handkerchief on and the hat. He's just like... You gotta feel for him, because he's like, I don't know what to do in this situation, because he's the only guy that could stand a shot against Oven, like, the only one. Like, Pudding doesn't stand a chance, Chiffon obviously doesn't stand a chance, so it's like, I can attack him, but they're gonna figure out who I am, they're gonna figure out I'm here, the whole crowd, the whole town's gonna figure out, and they're not just gonna let us through to the harbor and let us sail off into the sunset, but he realizes it's getting really close to the point where I gotta do something or else somebody's gonna freaking die. And then meanwhile, you cut over to Pound, and here we go, he starts charging down the freaking street, you know, get your hands off of Chiffon! You know, I would imagine he's banging his chest like a freaking gorilla, like, ah! You know, he just gets this power raging inside of him, this fatherly love that's been repressed for, like, I don't know how old Chiffon and Lola are, like in their 40s, I don't know, but they're just charging down the street. There comes Pound, and he's like, I will save you, my daughter. And then you see Chiffon glance over, and this is actually a really heartbreaking scene. She doesn't recognize Pound. So Chiffon doesn't actually know that Pound is her father, which indicates... I mean, we kind of already knew this, like, the second that Big Mom, you know, gets it on, she just kind of discards her husband's, like, you know, like, mail drones in a beehive, you know, it's like, I don't want you around anymore, and I'm assuming some of them probably leave the island, some of them might just straight up die, some of them might be imprisoned, or in Pound's case, they might just stick around an island, but just nobody cares about them, and, so Chiffon never knew her father growing up. That's pretty sad, considering he was still in Totland. It's just no one ever care about him. And I'm assuming there's probably something that Big Mom says to all of her children about their fathers. Like, Mommy, where's Dad? Like, you don't need a dad. I'm man enough for both a mother and a father. I don't know, but I don't know, it's just sad, because, you know, we knew that Chiffon grew up in Totland, and we knew that Pound was in Totland. Like, why do they never know each other? That's so heartbreaking. But anyway, Sanji's looking down the street, and he's like, I have no idea who this guy is, but... and you see a scene right before Pound is about to deliver the blow on Oven. And that's when the moment where Sanji realizes, at that moment, holy crap, that guy right there is going to be so strong. His punch is going to level this entire island. I gotta stop him. So Sanji speeds, and then in the blink of an eye, kicks Oven in the face with Diablo Jambe, knocks him back. I don't know if it's with Diablo Jambe, it might be. Knocks him back right, and he gets him hit right in the neck. And then Pound is just sitting there just like, huh? What? And then the island is saved. Sanji just saved the island. Because we know what happened if Pound, it's like freaking Saitama, you know, the fist connects with Oven, and that whole thing, like, screw the island, all of Totland would have been sunk into the ocean right there. So, my neighbors are having a Jedi battle. I don't know if you guys know that. My neighbors are Jedi. One's a Sith, one's a Jedi, and it gets messy. I mean, the sex is incredible, but they have duels every day. So anyway, immediately after that, Sanji appears in front of Chiffon, grabs her, and he's like, "Time to fly, Chiffon!" And so he zips back onto the caravan and like covers Chiffon up with a cloth so they can't see her. And like, "Let's get out of here!" And then funniest scene is you cut over to Pudding, who just witnessed this whole thing, and she's just like. Yeah, that's an appropriate interpretation of, I think, the voices and the sounds that she's currently making when you see that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Pudding, you know, joining the crew or anything, but those little moments where she has, like, the nosebleeds and the hearts and, like, her head is catching on fire, I mean, those are adorbs. I mean, I'm not gonna lie and say they're not. Anyway, Oven gets back up and just kind of brushes himself off, like, hell? And so he charges immediately back over to Pound, and Pound's still kind of reeling, like, did I do that? Like, what? Like, I guess I could have. I am pretty big. I never really been in a fight before, so I guess I could have done that. Oven just comes charging back down the street like, there's no way in hell you did that! And then proceeds to just beat the ever-loving crap out of Pound. Hey man, that's not fair. Pound, you know, he wasn't even ready to throw a punch yet. Okay, you know what? He's just letting him, you know, turn him into a freaking punching bag for the moment. You know, later on he's gonna come back and wipe the floor with him. And so a little bit of time passes, and you think for a moment they're going to be able to pull this off. Like, Chiffon is hiding under the cloak, and everyone's, like, almost at the harbor, and you're thinking, oh, man, you're going to make it? No, you don't make it. Oven shows up and just removes the freaking cloth. I'm like, there you are, Chiffon. And like, oh, crap, no. And then you see Pound in the distance. He's all beat to hell. He's like, there's your hands off of my daughter. And I'm like, crap, this is getting really sad really quick. You know, and in this situation, I guess Sanji was about to, you know, go after Oven. I mean, there's not much else he could do in this situation, right? But right at this moment, Oven receives a call on his own Den Mushi that says, hey, look, Bege's ship has been sighted near the island, and we're currently surrounding it, so we should be able to capture Bege really quick, too. Bege is coming to rescue Chiffon. And so Oven's like, whoa, ha, ha, ha. Yeah, so I thought he was a little bit more, you know, cool-headed. I thought he was just gonna leave you behind, but he's just charging straight in. And so Oven begins negotiations with Bege over the Den Mushi. He's like, all right, Bege, you know, I got your wife, your accomplice, in the betrayal of Big Mom. She's here. I got her by the freaking throat. And it's just come ashore of the island and you know, surrender yourselves, and I might let her live, basically. And so Bege, honestly, he's on his ship. He's being surrounded. He's looking around at everything, and he's like, he takes the Den Mushi, and he's like, all right, I'll come ashore. Just stop beating up my wife. I'll be right there. And so you have this moment where it's like, oh, what's gonna go down here? And the next thing you know, you just see Oven's head just explode, and he gets knocked back and he falls down. And you know, I thought Bege was doing like a flank or something, like he left his boat and his men on the boat, and then he like circled around and you know, got on the island, went in the opposite direction, and then like did a sneak attack against Oven like from his back. But that's not what happened. Bege's still on his ship. He's still on the freaking, you know, the figurehead of his ship. You know, he's like the big castle ship. And you just see him there holding Pez, you know, his son, and he's holding a gun, and he's just like, take a good look, Pez. That's the way your daddy lives. And everyone's shouting in the background, Father! So it's literally what goes down is that he finds out, like, his wife is being captured and held hostage by Oven. Bege's thing is like, yeah, we'll be right there, click. And then he walks up on the figurehead of his boat and just stares like, this is a decent distance away, pulls out a freaking pistol and just bam, and manages to like crack shot, like right freaking between the eyes at a distance of like 100, 200 yards. I don't know, man, but it's like the aim is perfect. And so Oven gets knocked down, and then you just see a scene where Chiffon is like, you know, super, it's like, oh, everything's gonna be okay, you know? However, Pudding's in the background like, oh no, we've made Brother Oven mad, and you see Oven getting up. You see, like, even though he got shot right in the face, it didn't seem to, like, it staggered him none. It knocked him back a little bit. He gets up, brushes the dust out of his weird hair, and he's like, alright, it's on. So he starts charging back. So, I don't know if this is going to be a fight. I wanted it to be a fight between Sanji and Oven, but we might be getting a fight between Bege and Oven. You know, I don't care. A fight's a fight. Oven, you know, has some pretty cool abilities, so that'd be neat to see how they, you know, fare with that. How they can escape, too, because the entire island is surrounded now. Now, there still probably is going to be a way out for Pudding, because they still need to get that cake to Big Mom. Even the Big Mom Pirates, they know they still need to get the cake there. So, they might be able to let Pudding on through, as long as with Sanji, if he hides himself right. But as for Chiffon and Bege, they're going to have to stay on the island, on Cacao Island, and face off against Oven. There's no other way, because the Oven's going to be chasing them if they manage to escape. So, and escape is really kind of impossible at the moment. So I don't know how these guys are going to get through the arc. You know, if they're really lucky, you know, maybe they might be distracted by something else. But for right now, it's going to be Bege versus Oven from the way I see this, you know, right now. So we get two scenes left before the end of the chapter. One scene we see the Sunny, and it's beginning to be attacked by Big Mom ships. You know, they were like smooth sailing for a while because of the sea slugs were being, you know, distracted by Praline. Well, it looks like they're eventually getting caught up to the Sunny now. They figured out where they are, and Jinbei's like, all right, well, get ready for approaching fire and all that shit. And then you have a scene with Carrot and Chopper, where Carrot is just kind of, she's looking up at the sky and holding her hat, and she's just like, tonight will be a full moon. And then you see Chopper in the distance like, what? I don't know, what? Huh? Ah! Right, so I already did a video about this a few days ago, which saves me some explanations on what might go down during the full moon. One thing I forgot to mention in that video, though, was back during Zoe, there was a moment where Wanda mentioned this as well, very vaguely. She mentioned it like, glad that there was cloud covers so that you guys didn't encounter the minks during a full moon, but it was also very vaguely mentioned there. So, because the minks are based off of animals, it makes sense that, and they're prone to more, like, animal tendencies, you know, how, like, Carrot gets really raging mad if you steal her food or something. You know, because of that, I would imagine the full moon brings out their full animal capabilities, you know, so they could turn into, like, you know, berserkers, or, you know, like, there's a physical transformation, like Carrot becomes a were-rabbit. Some people have also come up with other ways, like maybe they become humans in the full moon, but I don't like that, because that basically, like, that really seems what they're going for here is they become closer to, like, animals and more dangerous when the full moon gets out, not less dangerous. You know, and turning into humans, I mean, like, you have claws and fangs and stuff if you're a mink, so if you become a human, then you lose those, and it's just like, oh, well, that's less than intimidating. So I don't think it's going to be that. Some people have even thrown out ideas that they literally become animals. Like, not innocent animals, but they literally, like Wanda probably would turn into, like a battle wolf from, like, Toriko or something, like an actual wolf. Or you know, a crazy rabid dog or something. And in Carrot's case, I don't know, she turns into... Has anybody ever seen Night of the Lapis? Giant rabbits attacking a town? Like, maybe? I don't know, but go watch the video I made, and I go into a little bit more detail about my thoughts on that. But my favorite is going into, like, a were-rabbit transformation, where, you know, she takes Electro, and it, like, electrifies her whole body, and her fur's standing up, and her claws come out, and she's like, yeah! Like a demon rabbit. You know, that would be pretty damn cool to see that. But yeah, clearly the full moon is going down tonight, and she knows what's going to happen, so I'm looking forward to that. So we get the last scene of the chapter where we cut around Totland to various locations we haven't been to yet. We have Chips Town, we have Eat Up Town, we have Green Town, and Luffy is just running wild through all these islands. By the way, we see this one island that's made out of, like, French fries and Pringles, and I just, oh my god, I would love to visit Totland just for the sake of that island. I like me some Pringles. Maybe they got the Pringle guy to actually design it, you know? Or the minister of that island happens to look like the Pringle mascot. That would be hilarious with the big mustache. That'd be funny. But anyway, you have Katakuri, who's still stuck in the mirror world because, you know, Luffy has Brûlé. So, Katakuri's hearing all this information in the mirror world, like, Luffy's running rampaging, he's going all over Totland, and in and out of the mirror world. And then you have, you know, Katakuri there like, oh my god, Did Brule get freaking kidnapped again? And so we cut over to Luffy, who kidnapped Brule again. And so at the end of the chapter, we get this moment with Luffy and Brule. And these two don't really have the greatest chemistry in the world, but it is a very interesting scene where Brule is just like, look, if you want to go to Cacao Island, just run to Cacao Island. Why are you jumping in and out all of these mirrors and shit? And Luffy's just like, wait, how do you even know I want to go to Cacao? And they're like, oh, I overheard you, you idiot. I'm literally the Mirror Master. Like, it doesn't matter if you shatter the mirrors. I can still hear your conversations. It's like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, Luffy says, like, Haki gets used up. We know that there's a time limit with Haki. We knew there was a time limit with armament Haki anyway because of Gear 4th, but we didn't know if there was a limit with observation. Luffy implies that there definitely is. There is a limit too. And Luffy figures that if he keeps jumping in and out of the mirror world, you know, keeping Katakuri on his toes, I guess, eventually his observation Haki will get worn down. Now, this would imply that, you know, Katakuri is constantly using his observation. If Luffy is popping in and out of the mirror world over and over and over again, and Katakuri has to keep using observation to, like, sense where Luffy's at, that makes sense to me. But if Katakuri is just hanging out, not using it, then he could, like, stockpile it and, like, gather it back together. So this does seem to be going either way. But anyway, that's not really what Luffy wants to do anyway. Luffy's sitting there like, you know, I could do that. I could just keep jumping in and out, you know, having him, you know, building up my Haki, having him use up his observation Haki, but that's not going to work. And he remembers a scene when he was training with Rayleigh, and Rayleigh was teaching him Haki, and he said, you know, like, I've taught you the basics, but the true flower of Haki blooms on the battlefield. That's where you really come up with all the interesting abilities, and you can transcend and you can learn all these skills. You know, all I can teach you is the basics, Luffy. I can teach you to, you know, avoid attacks with observation. I can teach you to use armament. I can teach you how to better control your own conquerors, but I can't teach you all the little things you can do with it. That really all depends on you. That's you as a person. So, kind of like I can teach you how to play an instrument, but whenever you're come to composing your own music, that's on you. I can't give you a thing to compose your own music. You know, it's your thing. So he thinks and he's like, I wonder if I can get myself to see some of it too. You know, a little bit of the future. I wonder if I can advance my own observation Haki to see a little bit more into the future. And Brule is like, don't be getting ahead of yourself, Pipsqueak. And you have a moment where Luffy's just sitting there and he's all serious and he's like, I want to surpass him. All 1 billion berries of him. Well, actually, Luffy, it's a little bit higher than a billion. I think it's like 1.98 billion. It's like 1,098,000,000 or something like that. But I get what you're doing. You're rounding down. Okay. I love this scene. I love this scene with Luffy because he's like, you know, in the moment with all this stuff going on and how, you know, we have to hurry up and get away. We have to get the cake. We have to get Sanji. We have to escape Totland. And Katakuri's coming after me. Luffy could easily just be, like, running and hide, and his strategy might actually work, but he doesn't want to do that. He's like, this is my only opportunity to get stronger, because this guy is stronger than me. It's kind of like Luffy's admitting that a little bit. He doesn't outright say it, but he's like, you know, he is stronger than me. He has no more tricks than I do. His devil fruit seems to be comparable to mine or greater. So he's like, I'm never going to have a better opportunity than to test my limits and all my training that I've gone through in the past 2 years than right fucking now. So I need this. I need to fight him. I need to surpass him right now. I'm not going to get another chance at this. Or even if I might get another chance, I need to do it right now. Because, you know, Luffy's not the most patient guy in the world. So, I like this. So I think there's going to be a moment where Luffy's just going to be like, you know what, screw it, pop out of the mirror and be like, round 3, let's do this! And then it's going to be like, okay. But Luffy is starting slowly but surely, he's figuring out all of Katakuri's tricks. You know, the first time they started fighting, Luffy had no idea what he was capable of. Now Luffy knows totally what he's capable of. And if Luffy can master observation Haki the same way that Katakuri has, don't know how he would do that, but if he could, then he would be on more equal, you know, equal footing with him, at least a little bit. Not saying that Luffy would straight up, like, kick the shit out of Katakuri, knock him out and win, like, I win! But, you know, like, okay, you're actually, you stalemate, you know, draw, you know, you're capable now. So something along those lines would be cool. But, yeah, it's always neat to see Luffy getting the will to be stronger. So anyway, yeah, that'll be One Piece chapter 886. No break next week, so we're back. Thanks you guys for watching. Apologize for the delay. And hopefully I won't be sick as a dog when I get to the next review. And thanks everybody for the 200,000. I'm actually going to, you know what? I'm going to go check that right now. I'm going to pull up my old social blades and see where we're at right now. And we're at, hold on, it has to adjust. 987, 996! Damn it! That was supposed to be like a really epic ending for the video. Damn it, 996. Alright, So, okay. Here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna take off my clothes, all right, and then I'm gonna go and get a drink, and then I'm gonna go upstairs, and I'm gonna heat up a bagel. I'm gonna put a bagel in my toaster, put some butter on that bagel, and I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna sit at my computer and I'm gonna pull up the files and I'm gonna start editing, and then I'm gonna check. And there better be, I think it'll be 200,000 at that point. All right, that's what we're going to do. That's the game plan. All right, everybody. Later. Signing out. I love you all.